Good morning.
Good morning. So, as you've seen, when I text you that I jump in front of the document, you don't need to call because I'm usually still wrapping up another call and getting things sorted. All right. In lovely
Okay.
Racine, Wisconsin, we've got a closed store, which people tend to get excited about. Hey, it's closed. It's probably going to be a slam dunk. Who knows? But I'm going to look very carefully at those photos and see that, yes, the infrastructure is there. And that's probably not a mistake because the equipment is gone. They've left the walls intact. They've left the ceiling up. This place is not scorched earth. It's not an absolute wreck. So pictures being worth a thousand words. In my experience, all the laundries I've seen all over the globe, this looks like they were very gently pulling equipment. So if I had to guess, this store has fresh paint. The ceiling tiles are nice. There's roll down shutters in the drop off area and fairly pristine bulkhead walls where the equipment used to be. This was probably someone that bought the laundromat, bought the equipment for double the worth, could never make money, and the equipment was repossessed. And the landlord's leaving it, again, just a guess, a total, I mean, an educated guess, if you will, because of what we're looking at. So you've got Brian's telephone number. It says retail space for lease. It should be a slam dunk. Now we come to that sticky widget where we're talking to this guy about, hey, I want to lease this. I want to create a good laundromat, but we're not going to be like your previous tenant. So we're going to press that nerve. But this is all academic. This is your first ever call?
Yes.
Oh my God, so exciting. All right, let's dial Brian. Anything I'm forgetting?
No, but I will tell you, as a bonus, if you really help me get this going and I'm successful, I will be shipping you some homemade ceviche and canned tomatoes and all that other stuff from one
Well,
Italian to another.
if we're friends, I would hope that there's no contingencies attached to that type of gift. But okay, I get it. All right, I'm dialing. Here we go. Stand by. You can mute your phone if
Right.
there's going to be any noise. Subscribe. Now's your chance to watch how this works every time. Brian.
You've reached the voicemail of Brian. Take your call right now, but please leave a message.
Okay, I noticed that you have two separate individuals here. So Brian isn't answering his phone. It does sound like it's
Yeah.
going to a cell. So I'm going to try that once more before I dial the second number to try to give us the best possible. Auto dialers don't call twice. So he might be thinking I'm trying to sell something. And when I call again, curiosity should get him to pick up.
Right.
Let's see if I'm right. Here we go.
Okay.
I usually am right. Did you sub? Do it. Do it. Okay, you're going to find in the future that we are always looking for one contact. You pinpoint who you think is the best person, but you went from seeing a sign with the number on it, it's probably the best guy, to going onto the website for same said company and finding Kevin's number. So, in the interest of trying to get something here done today, let's call his number as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave messages for both because then we've got way too many characters in this Greek tragedy. Did you sub yet? Santa Claus can tell. Come on, Kevin. Okay, he's not answering either. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call Brian back. This is the third call. By the way, you should be putting in the notes right there in the document the date. Danny dialed thrice, if that's a word.
It is.
Brian's
Okay, I'll quit.
number.
That makes sense. I got my pen going on the paper here.
Yeah, don't do pen and paper. I don't care if you misspell every other word or if you use your own special shorthand. It's very interactive when I'm able to see in the Google document. And I'm sorry, I didn't mention that before. I'm calling him again. Here we go. First, I'll input his number in my phone, which is the case with every call I make. I have thousands of contacts in my phone, which backs up every night. Thank goodness for Apple. And it links back to you, Conchetta, on my phone, so I know who this dude is.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Third time's a charm. So this is your third chance to sub to the channel, you knucklehead. That's what I do. I call people names and then I force them to do my bidding. Hi. Brian, my name is Danny. Sorry to blow up your phone. I know you don't recognize the number. I'm looking at some commercial space in Racine. I wanted to bend your ear on some lease terms here.
Which space are you looking at?
This is a former laundromat on Erie.
Okay.
That's what I do, my brother. I've been in coin laundries for almost 20 years, and my partner and I are looking to build out on that empire. We saw that the infrastructure is here, which is what we are always after. And I don't know, if you're not crazy on the rent and it's commensurate for a coin laundry, we might want to spend 300, 400 grand on washers and dryers and sign a 15-year lease with you.
Yeah, I mean, that all sounds good. The infrastructure that's there is dated, but it is all there. And the space is available. We've had a number of different operators looking at it, but no one's actually pulled the trigger. So
well,
dated
infrastructure, I get that. And having done this for a while, I'm not a distributor. I don't sell equipment. I just try to get the best deal on said equipment. And my partner and I are looking to build more. Now, it's pretty inside baseball, and I appreciate your saying that it's dated. What do you mean by that? What do you know about that infrastructure that's dated?
I mean, from looking at it, I mean, there's old water heaters that have been there forever. It's the old size, machines with like the big pits and everything and how that was laid out. There was a drop off in the front where they did it, but that should be blown out. I mean, you could upgrade it. I'm just not sure any of the infrastructure is really salvageable and reusable. You're almost starting over, I think, but maybe you tell me otherwise.
Okay.
And
I appreciate that a lot, because what we are really after typically is gas, water, electric, the roof penetrations for the tumblers, what the layman calls dryers. As far as if you would have said, hey, it's three-phase electric, I can tell by looking at it. All of the pipes are still there, and like the troughs, believe it or not, we still use drain troughs. That's the kind of the thing.
But even the copper, like water pipes or something, they must have froze. So some of the pipes are broke, just so you know.
Okay. Well, let me say this:
the roof penetration.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I insist. Go ahead.
I mean, the roof penetration is still there for the dryers. The bank is still there. It could be expanded. That's there. The electric is there. The rest of it, I would assume, is not there.
There you go. Well, Brian, maybe you're a genius and you're doing a reverse sell on me, because, I know that we do have to do upgrades. But here's the big thing, that since you said that, the environmental impact fees have been paid. I don't need to go back to the city, the county, the state, and take care of all that. So that's kind of huge for us. But here I am digging my own grave. Here's the bottom line. It looks like you've left the infrastructure behind. It looks like that management's been careful. Yes, the equipment's gone, but that's never a good thing. What's your asking rate on a 15-year term? I just need to know square footage and what's your ask?
It's I'm not on the sheet in front of me, but it's 2,488 square feet. It's off memory. So called 2,500 feet. We're asking $15 a foot, triple net. And our expenses down there are running right around $4.
Nice. Well, I can tell you this: we're not far off. The difference, you said you had several operators looking at it. That's great. I don't want to get into the he said, she said, or who they are, or what type of operator, or what stopped them. Did you hear from them that, oh, the infrastructure is just not perfect, so we're not interested? Is that what the gist was?
No.
Okay.
No, the vast majority of them were unqualified, to be honest.
Oh, so. All right, good. Well, look, I need to be at $12 a square foot. We're not far away. I can put an LOI in your hands, but before I do that, I want to make sure that you and I are communicating. You're the right guy, it sounds like. You're the one that can become the mouthpiece for me. Does your group own this building?
Yeah. No, it's third party. It's owned by, the center is grocery anchored. It's owned by Piggly Wiggly themselves in partnership with a guy out of Illinois.
Okay.
But the anchor tenant owns the real estate. It's a great store for them, so they're not going anywhere.
Understood. Yeah, it looks like a good anchor for us as well. Those are our people. Piggly Wiggly, get some fries, do some laundry. I don't want to be ignored. I don't want to take the time. It's no skin off my nose to write you a letter of intent. I'm happy to do so. What type of abatement can you offer on a 15-year term? Because I can't get this equipment ordered and in the spot for probably a year. You know what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, they'll look at that as a part of the whole deal. So it just depends on what kind of increases we put in there. You know, is it a completely as is deal? I can't answer that right now. But they'll look at it as in totality.
Okay. I like that. And you're saying as is, so that would be my next question. Do you know if the air condition is newer? Was it replaced recently? Because we've got to have good running air.
I understand, and I do not know that answer. I believe it's dated, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, let's what we'll do is we'll put the proper tonnage in the LOI, what I know we need. And I don't want to educate you, my friend. It sounds like you're at lunch, and I appreciate your talking. But air conditioning, it removes moisture from the air and cools the air. You know what laundromats do? We've got a bunch of washers in there that throw tons of moisture into the air. And we've got a bunch of dryers, which are basically heaters inside the rented space that heats the air. So it's very hard on air conditioning units. And having gone through several operators, we do not intend to be another horrible operator. I don't think anyone does, but a lot of those operators don't know what they are doing. And they say, this is a laundromat. I'm going to pick up cash from the streets. But we need to ask for all the contingencies and everything that we need. At 15, that's a great rate of rent, honestly. But it's not great when you're spending debt service for $400,000 in equipment. It becomes difficult. You know, a dollar store, what do? They sell stuff. What does Piggly Wiggly do? They sell stuff. And the rented space, it's a finite fixed amount. We'll write it at $12. I can't do anything about your triple nets. Give us about 24 hours, and hopefully we can do some business. This is your cell phone number?
It is.
Brian, I'm Danny D'Angelo. My partner's name is Conchetta. I will CC her. Text me your email address, and we'll put an LOI together for you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, brother. Talk soon.
You bet.
Ciao.
Talk soon.
Well, I know what I think, so what do you think?
Well, he sounded knowledgeable.
Wait a minute.
He seemed to be honest about what he doesn't.
Where's all the hooping? Hold on. Hello? Where's all the hooping and hollering? My God, you made one telephone call. You must think that every call that I make that landlords just lay down and say, yeah, let's do it. You probably do.
Well, you're Danny D'Angelo, the Laundry King. Isn't that the way it works?
I think so. You know, I'm a huge fan of psychology, and I'm going to be blatantly honest. I'm on the phone with people sometimes for 12 months, 13 months. Sometimes, you know, we've got Joe Kling in Los Angeles who's got 3 stores, multimillionaire. And it took us almost 2 years to get his first contract, mostly because I won't let you make a bad deal. So knowing that and understanding that, people want to watch videos where you make one phone call, boom, the guy says, yeah, this place is closed. Here's what I mean about what do you think? And then I never let you talk and I tell you what I think. The guy, the first thing that he said dated infrastructure. You put it in the notes. That's called a reverse sell, if in fact he was trying to sell us anything. And I don't think he was. Good salespeople don't come running at you and say, "This is the most beautiful couch I've ever seen. You better grab it because somebody else is running in the door." That doesn't work. What does work is, "Hey, what do you think of this couch? What are you asking me for? Where's your wife? I think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Who's going to have that purple thing in their house?" Reverse sell. I don't think he was selling anything. He was being clear. Hey, I work for the landlord. I want to be upfront. $15, you understand. 12 is what we need. 15 is not bad. That's an extra couple $100 a month. That's not the end of the world. It's not going to break you. You put one store in front of me that has infrastructure for a laundromat that is free to you. He also said that they've had some people come at him that are not qualified. You, frankly, are probably not qualified for this, but the conversation that you put me in front of him to have makes him say to the group, yeah, they know what they're doing. When he sees the LOI, he'll see your name on it, and be prepared. These are on my YouTube channel where he might come back tomorrow and say, we want to see your social. We want to, crawl up your ass and see if you're qualified. We don't do that. Why would you? Some things don't seem right, but you do it anyway. If you're shopping for a car, you don't walk in and give them your social at the door. Here's my social. Because if you're smart, you go to Ford, Chevy, Volkswagen. You're shopping. That's what you're doing. And if they see your credit gets pulled 15 times that day, it's not good.
Right.
But also, hey, what's the price for the car? I just want to know the price. Once I know the price, we'll talk. So we're going to go through these processes, and this isn't BS. It's not trying to end run their processes. It's saying, look, we know what we're doing. We know what we need. Once we have the proper price and we've sussed out the letter of intent with proper air conditioning tonnage and everything else, all that needs to be done. They're going to send over the lease, and the lease is going to have a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 deposit. But I'm not going to mention that in the first call. That's purposeful. I've been doing this for a long time. If I go in guns blazing on the first call and say, by the way, we don't pay deposits, we don't pay for infrastructure, and we don't like you, that's not good.
Right.
Anyway, we have 2 more calls to make. And I want you to understand the long form notes are really important because in 10 minutes, you'll forget what he said. Old hot water heater, great. The drop off, and then you put question marks. He was saying that it's dated with the roll down things and the stuff. It needs to be done. Okay, well, he gets it. But I also heard him say they won't spend any money. So you're not going to see TI. But how can they possibly not revamp the air conditioning units here? Can you answer that?
No, I cannot.
What's the argument? Okay, here's the argument. If he was to say to us in a week, well, we're not going to pay for 20 tons of air conditioning. Okay. What's your goal? Well, we're going to lease the space to somebody without proper air conditioning? So you're going to put an optometrist in here and they're going to have a swamp cooler or no AC? Don't be silly. So there is no argument. No matter what they do, that's the way commercial leases work. The roof, they're responsible for. That's 99.99% of commercial. The walls, the external walls, the glass, no. That's why you see mall cops so angry about kids on skateboards. You probably never thought about it before because kids on skateboards break glass. And therefore, the renters, the operators of the pizzeria or the laundromat or the nail salon, they don't like those kids. Because that glass, once you've signed the lease, you're responsible for. And if you're not smart enough in the LOI to say, hey, we want all this glass fixed. If you've got an automatic door in a laundromat, you probably want it gone, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, every call that we make is not an automatic, yeah, send us an LOI. So I'm not saying you're lucky. I'm saying you're good. Go ahead. What?
What is the 3? You have triple N down there next to the square footage and the everything. What does
cams
mean?
Cams and triple net. He said that they're at $4. Again, he said that briefly. That's why I'm typing things that I assume that you won't know. That's their taxes, et cetera. It seems crazy, but you want to be a landlord, right? Because the tenants are the ones that pay your taxes and your overhead, and that's triple net. So you, outside of my purview, you can look up what it is, what it means. But the flip side of that is when some horrible pandemic strikes or there's a flood and all of your tenants leave, the landlord in bad times is responsible for all of the taxes, the triple nets, the common area maintenance, and the CAMs are split. So if there's a 10,000 square foot Piggly Wiggly or 30,000 or 40,000 square foot Piggly Wiggly and then a tiny 1,000 square foot nail salon next door, they pay a percentage of the common area maintenance. In the East, if there's snow removal, we're going to have to deal with that. In Arizona, you're never going to see a bill for snow removal. Strange, huh? If there's no trees in the parking lot, and you could narrow it down to smaller communities and what happens in a smaller strip mall, maybe there were beautiful palm trees there, but every year the palm trees need to be trimmed. And then that brings pigeons, right. And so it's messy. So maybe one year they'll say, let's cut down the palm trees, let's get rid of them. There's a $500 common area maintenance fee that everybody splits, and it's done. And then in the future, you don't have to deal with it. So I get some of these terms are very, very common and can be found again on the internet. I'm not trying to slough you off here, but we're going to do an LOI.
No.
I'm going to email you the letter of intent. I'm going to send you all the instructions. It's all canned. It's all ready to go. You will not send the LOI to him direct. He's already texted me his email address. I'll put that in here. And we never send it the first day. You want fresh eyes. This isn't a term paper. This is not a quiz. It's more like the importance of this piece of paper. It's not the lease either, but the letter of intent is basically really important. It's more like a doctorate thesis, because when he looks at it, he's going to say, oh, these people know what they're doing. They've come through with everything they need to be successful, and that's going to elevate your chances again. Let's hit the other ones. You've got another one here in lovely Racine, and it's operating an unattended store. Bob is the landlord, you're telling me, and you found this information through a tax inquiry. As much as I hate the tax inquiry information type of stuff, we will try it. Did you verify the phone number?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Because I was hesitant because you have really beat it into my head one way or another of not contacting the landlord.
Yeah, I don't want you to call, but don't forget, you can dial from a block number. You can see if the number even rings. When we're doing this, I've got 34 texts of folks waiting to get on the horn, and I know this is your first time, so it's not going to be as fast paced, but verify the numbers through whatever means necessary. If we call and it's just a voicemail, it's going to be hard to even know if it's the right guy. All right, here we go. Stand by.
Right.
And this store is very different because it is operating, which normally they are. It's unattended. You say it's smelly. There was a homeless bag lady speaking gibberish, and she had urinated in her own seat. Love it. Okay, well that's
yes. It was awesome, and she was rubbing her bare feet in it. It was really quite gross.
You have to have a hobby. All right, let's call. Have you subscribed yet? Because you don't want to miss homeless ladies playing in puddles of piss. Alliteration. I got a million of them.
Hi, this is Bob.
Hey, Bob, my name's Danny. I wanted to talk lease terms with you on a space over here in Racine, if you have a minute. I'm interested in leasing it from you.
Oh, in Racine? I've got it rented.
This is the Coin
already.
Laundry where I'm actually interested. It's not an empty space. You don't run the laundromat, do you? You own the building?
Oh, no, I run the laundromat as well.
Okay, so you're the landlord and the operator. God bless you. We could talk for hours. That's what I do too, Bob. I've been in coin laundries for almost 20 years in 3 states. My partner and I were always looking for infrastructure. I was just scouting it. We go in, and if you're happy, if you're thrilled, if you're making tons of money and, the headaches kind of aren't insurmountable, then God bless. I wouldn't change a thing. If you want to lease it, no pressure. I'm interested in talking terms. By the way, there's a homeless lady in there kind of playing in her own urine when we were there. And I don't know.
Oh, geez, again. Yeah.
You know her? Is she a friend? Probably not.
No. I mean, I don't know if she was the same one, but
yeah. Well,
yeah,
what do you
booted somebody
just to be an advocate for a minute? What do you do about the homeless? Do you have an attendant in the store? Do you have somebody to shoo them away?
Sometimes I have somebody shoo them away. Sometimes I just call the police.
Yeah.
I mean, other times I'll deal with it if I'm there.
Well, make sure you have
that's ultimately where I got to go with it.
Make sure you have a no trespassing, no loitering sign in the front of the store. And then to give you some advice, you can go to local PD and you can sign a right to trespass ahead of time. And let me tell you this, cops hate to do anything about the homeless. Do you know why?
I don't know.
That's a no. So you're a cop, you drive the same squad car every day. If you have to arrest somebody and zip them up, when you put them in your squad car, they stink. If you have to take them to jail, you have to take their personal property with you. And you're going to be throwing, in this case, this is like a bag lady. You can't arrest somebody without taking their personal property. And if it's you or me, hey, maybe we're a little drunk, but no problem. They don't. So just be aware of that. And I always look, it sounds like you're a little beat up by this type of thing. And I get that. You know, when you've got as many locations as we do, you have to get on top of it. So I don't know, maybe I can ask yes or no. Have you thought about leasing the space and collecting a rent check instead of collecting money?
Not yet, but where are you from? You're not from Wisconsin, or are you?
Yes, we're local. You can't run a laundry from outside the state.
Well, no, I didn't know if you were getting back into Wisconsin. I just saw an Arizona phone number.
Yeah, it's my cell phone, dude.
Yeah.
I've got a ranch in Arizona.
Where's your what? Yeah, Arizona, yeah.
I'll email you. I'll let you look at all of our locations.
Right now? Okay, sure.
I'll send you an email. You can look at all of them. But, bottom line, the guy you've got on the phone is interested and intrigued in doing a 15-year term. And I would retool the store. I'd put new equipment in right away. I'd get rid of all the top loaders. We're going to try to beat you up a little bit on, rate of rent, obviously, because we've got huge debt service, which you don't. And you know this, Bob. If you did some work, if you did some advertising, you could make more money here. But personally, I don't know your scenario. God bless you. If you want to do that, that's fine. If not, run it until you don't want to anymore and give me a call. Text me your email address. I'll send you an email.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Thanks much.
So here we go from call number 1, which is a closed laundromat, which is not a slam dunk. However, in your case, that professional realtor goes through some of the facts, figures, tells us what, and then we go straight to a phone call where congratulations, you found the right telephone number for the landlord, who's also the operator. You didn't know that, but he is.
Okay.
Danny does his level best to have a nice conversation with this gentleman and even you could hear how beat up he was. You could hear the inflection in his voice. Oh, man. Vagrants again.
You're right.
We got a hobo in there in our own urine. Damn it. You can hear it in his voice. This guy's, well, maybe not today. We're calling him out of the blue saying, hey, man, rent us the space. I'm not here to pick that scab. I'm not here to push that nerve. But today, when he lays his head on his pillow this evening, he's going to say, what happened today? Okay. I got chased by a lady. I ran over a snake. Oh, yeah. And somebody wants to lease the laundromat. So I will put in the notes when and if he sends me his email address. And the speed at which he does so is telling. And you need to keep a physical eye on this place. You might get that first store in a slam dunk. You might not. And this, Bob's store, might be your second location in 6 months, 6 days, or 6 years. I don't know. That's it. That's our 2 calls. Let's go to the mattresses. I'm going to send you an email regarding the ifs, whats, whos, and buts. Nicely done. Welcome aboard. Do you want to say anything to YouTube?
I'm excited. I'm hesitant. and let's get this done.
Those are two separate things. So when we make one telephone call and you have one LOI in front of you, let me talk about the psychology of that. I've had people where we send LOIs, it's a slam dunk, it's a brilliant lease rate, and I never hear from them again. Not saying that's you,
Really?
not saying, of course. Well, you just said, you used the word hesitant. You're an intelligent woman. Why are you hesitant?
Oh, I was referring to getting out, actually getting it out of my comfort zone and going into this laundromat business. I'm excited and I'm hesitant and I'm scared, but I'm going for it.
Fear is
That's
what
I was
keeps,
talking.
Bob just sent me his email address. Fear is what keeps people going to a job every day. I'm scared shitless of going in, punching a clock, and doing work. I have 3 teenage daughters, 13, 16, and 19. My oldest daughter will probably never have a traditional job because she and I share a sport together. And in that sport, she's become a professional. She's extremely famous, and she's making a very good living with endorsement deals. Michael Jordan didn't get rich playing basketball. The checks are nice for that, but the salary isn't where the money is. Now, my other kid is 16. She works at a pizzeria, and she's coming to me every weekend. Dad, how do I stop this? How do I work for you? Well, you need to sit and talk to me about how business works and about how you can become the owner of said business. At the end of the day, that fear is what keeps a lot of people I deal with. I consult with neurosurgeons and ditch diggers, single moms and truck drivers, and everyone in between. And the neurosurgeons, that might surprise you, why are they on the phone with a laundromat guy? Because they don't want to do it anymore. Because they're sick of 10-hour surgeries where they stand there and a cute little nurse has to put a catheter in their pee-pee. This whole call has been all about urine, hasn't it? All right, I will input Bob's email. I will send him an email with before and after pictures of my locations. We're careful with terminology and verbiage, and you wonder how all this works. Well, I, me, they, us. The other funny thing is, Bob has never heard of me. He doesn't understand that I'm Danny D'Angelo, the laundry guy. He's never taken the time to go Google, how do I run a more successful laundromat? Isn't that sad? Nah, I'm not looking to be famous, but you should still subscribe. All right, bye.
See you later. Have a good day.
Ciao. The day has only just begun. I think that's a song. Strictest Movies, love watching your videos, bro. Well, we are brothers. Thank you. What part of Brooklyn you from? How did you know? Sheepshead Bay, X and Y Avenue. Yes. They have to take them to the hospital. They sink. I'm not sure what part of the video that was. I lost it already. This is a solid lead. Yes, correct. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. This is what I do. This is who I am. I don't change that for anybody. I am who I am. All right. Last impression of the day. More calls to make. Free laundromats are being had on the daily. Join us. Get the course. Ciao.